Hey guys, this is Ashley.
And sushi.
And this is
We should pod
Pod
that. Episode 5.
Let's do it.
We should watch that with Ashley and Sushi. Feel the vibes, it's a night so lush.
All right, Ashley, what are we doing? What are we talking about?
Oh my God, Sushi, we have many things to discuss today. So in our look section, our focus movie is The Long Walk. Our look back, we've got the movies The Baltimorons and The Roses. For TV, we've got the Foundation finale and the Alien Earth episode 6. Then for look aheads, we're looking at Him, Afterburn, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, and Xeno. So tell me about the wrestling, Sush.
For Oh No, Ooh Yeah, pretty much just talking about the two main WWE shows, SmackDown and Raw. SmackDown from the 12th and Raw from the 15th. Basically, everything is just gearing up for WrestlePalooza, the next PLE coming this Saturday. That's about it.
Yes. All right. Well, let's get into our looks. So our first movie today is The Long Walk. This is based on a Stephen King thing. I forget if it's a book or a short story, but it's Stephen King from the late 70s. And the story is a group of teenage boys compete in an annual contest called, you guessed it, The Long Walk, where they must maintain a certain walking speed or get shot. And then whoever survives the longest wins. So this movie, I think I was very surprised to see the Rotten Tomatoes reviews on this guy. There's some awesome performances in it. But I think overall it's a pretty corny kind of cliche movie. So it stars Cooper Hoffman is our lead dude, and then David Johnson, who you'll know from Alien Romulus, and they are both absolutely spectacular, like really, really great performances. But it's just the plot's weird, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic or post-revolution type environment. And they don't give you very many details. A lot of it doesn't make sense. I was particularly driven nuts because the plot the plot was kind of boring. It's just, dudes walking. The acting's good, so that adds to it. But also the dialogue, you could really tell it was dated. Like, it feels like they didn't update a word to what was written in the late 70s. I was also driven nuts. Why do all these children know the lyrics to My Darling Clementine? There's just, sometimes I can accept that this is a movie, I can just go along with it. But this one just had so many things that happened that just drove me kind of nuts. I will say this, one of the most graphic shitting scenes that I've seen in a movie.
Oh, yo.
You got to be prepared for some poop, y'all. There is...
Yeah, it was like unprompted.
It's an active pooping situation, which on the one hand, I was wondering how are they going to address the fact that these guys have to poop. But on the other hand, I don't know if I need to see an avalanche of poop. So, yeah, I have many disjointed irritations.
Yeah.
Many disjointed issues with the movie. Again, the acting is really good across the board. Lots of good performances. But yeah, it was really kind of lacking for me. Felt like it was, maybe if it's written for younger people, maybe that's would make it seem more deep.
For sure.
But I don't know. What do you think, Sush?
Well, yeah, that's definitely what I thought. That last part, I think I phrased it to you as like this felt like a YA movie, like a young adult movie,
Yes.
basically for like teenagers. Like this isn't like a lot of this movie didn't make sense. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, I initially walked away from this movie kind of enjoying it, but the
Mm.
more I think about it, the less I I feel like I look back and I like it even less now because a
Yeah.
lot of it just doesn't make sense to me. And so I'm just gonna give my rating first and then kind of go
Yeah.
and explain why. So for enjoyment, I gave it a 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
And for
Mm-hmm.
quality, I gave it a 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Quality, I give it 2.5, mostly because the acting saved any like good part of this movie quality wise.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff that I feel would go under qualitative rating that just doesn't make sense to me. I mean,
Mm.
this isn't like anything. I mean, like, other than the idea that this is supposed to be a post apocalyptic world, there isn't anything that really like makes us feel like this is outside of reality. You know, it's like not an aliens thing. It's not a
Right.
you know, I don't know. It's nothing like that. So we're led to believe that. I mean, like what happened to cities? First of all, that was a big part of why I feel it. You know, like
Yeah.
they just got. There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't even get addressed, or like it doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. That took the quality rating down for me a lot. But like I said,
Uh-huh.
the acting was good. I agree. I think like mostly the emotional moments work, but then again, the
Mm-hmm.
quality of it was like made me feel like it was like a YA novel. So it was like there's a lot of things that don't make sense. Um, Once you see the movie, you'll kind of if you see the movie, you'll understand what I mean for the people out there. It's just mostly because there's a lot of back and forth sometimes, or there's like moral indecision, and like you think they make a certain point, but then certain points get like logic or like the reasoning gets thrown out the window later on. So it's like, what's the
Mm-hmm.
point of like setting any of this stuff up? So I think, yeah, for enjoyment, I gave it a 1.5, mostly because it's like, I don't know. This could have been a streaming movie. I feel
Yeah.
like this is one of the few times where I kind of feel like I wasted time in the movie theater. Like,
Mm.
I usually don't mind it because I'll either see a movie that I know it's kind of ass quality, but it'll be fun because it's supposed to be that way,
Mm-hmm.
or it's unintentionally funny or like entertaining, or
Mm-hmm.
I'll see something that everybody knows is going to be good, and I can't kind of deny those kinds of situations. Or I'll just outright see something that just works for me personally, so I'll get lucky that way. But this is just one of those movies that really I couldn't justify any sort of real enjoyment from, so I
Mm-hmm.
had to go pretty low on this. I mean, other than I did like the actors, and I do think the effects makeup was pretty cool. I mean, they like
Mm-hmm.
that stuff was actually kind of enjoyable. Those moments were kind of made it a little bit better for me, and the quality was
Mm-hmm.
pretty decent. But I don't know. This movie is just like it. Yeah, like it really confuses me how the ratings we've come across for the most part have been on the high end.
Yeah, it's sitting at 89 critic, 85 audience on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
I mean, yeah, it
Um,
just came out this weekend, so who
mhm.
knows? That may change, but I just don't understand. Maybe I need to watch other people's reviews on this, but I just can see it in that respect.
Yeah. For my ratings, I gave enjoyment a 2 and quality a 2. And both of those are really strongly based on the lead performances, like I said, as well as like really good supporting cast. I was happy to see Ben, I think it's Wong, playing Hank Olson. He is a really fun actor. He's in the Karate Kid Legends movie. He was the young lead in that. And yeah, he was great. But yeah, it's interesting you bring up it being YA because I was just looking at it again and at the crew and remembered that the director did the Hunger Games first 2 movies.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
then it
and
kind
he
of
did the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So
makes
he's
sense.
done a lot of this sort of
He's done the Hunger Games
post.
franchise.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's
the
just
thing
for YA audience, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So it makes sense that you got that feeling from it. I definitely did too. And I think on top of that, it's just it didn't do the world building that you get in those other movies.
Yeah,
What
it's been
I
done before, and it wasn't as good. That's mainly the thing.
Yeah. So when I see like a movie like this or a TV show, I immediately kept thinking Squid Games is so amazing and it's something that has like a game premise. But when you think about the Hunger Games and when you think about Squid Games, both of those are stories that are about a society, critiquing a society and what that society makes people do to themselves and to other people. But
Hmm.
in the long walk, it's totally devoid of that. You get really, really bare bones description of what's
Yeah,
happening in the world. It's confusing when it takes place because, again, of all the sort of old references that are in it that
yeah,
make you think it's from the past. The way they dress looks
yeah.
kind of from the past, but then I guess it's supposed to be in the future. And so if you take away from a story like this all of the cultural impact and context, then all you have is a story of desperate people doing desperate things. And we know that desperate people do desperate things. That's it. We know it's going to be sad. We know that, the almost everyone on screen is going to die. You know that's going to happen. So there weren't really
Yeah.
any surprises. The few surprises that were in there were beautifully, beautifully sold by the actors. Like I think,
Hmm.
especially David
David
Johnson,
Johnson. Yeah,
he is an actor we're going to be
yeah, he's
seeing for
amazing.
the rest of his life. He is a spectacular actor. But yeah, I just couldn't do it because there's other works that did much better by this topic.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty like unrefined for a
Hmm.
movie of this sort of storyline.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, well,
let's move on to a totally different type of movie. So, our next movie is The Baltimorons. And so, this is about a newly sober man who we find out is a comedian. He has an emergency dental situation on Christmas Eve that leads him to have this really unexpected romance with an older dentist. And the two of them have this amazing night where they really explore Baltimore together and learn about each other and their past. And so this is a J. Duplass film. So it's got a very lived in feeling. The characters feel like real people. The actors look like real people, which I love. And it was amazing, guys. I don't think I've been this emotionally and tied up in a movie that I've seen in a really long time. It's just this wonderful slice of life thing where you get to know, this sort of failed comedian dealing with, sobriety issues. Then you've got the older dentist who's, had a family come apart and she's dealing with being a workaholic. But aside from all that, it's just people connecting. And it was just really, really great. Sush, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you thought about the Baltimorons?
I thought the acting was really good from the two leads. I went into this not knowing what this was about, because I don't think I watched any of the trailers for it. Because remember, we were talking about it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that's what it was about. I just thought it was about, I figured it was like a slice of life thing about people from Baltimore, but I just thought it was like more just like, a comedy or something, but it wasn't. But I thought it was like just really realistic and believable. The characters were believable. They didn't get really well-known actors, which I felt helped. Which,
Definitely.
because it made it feel more genuine in a lot of ways. Because, we'll see movies where there's stories like this, but it, for some reason, won't feel as real with like very polished looking actors. But yeah, overall, I just think like the quality is really good. I think the Duplass brothers, like always, they do have like a specific feel. I feel like it's the same thing for their documentaries too. Like it just feels very chill and like not rushed and natural, there's like a natural flow to it. So, I mean, overall, I liked it a lot. Especially not knowing what it was going to be about.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I was so surprised when you said you didn't know what it was about. I mean, the thing that's so cool about it is you just see how people, when they let their guard down, can slowly become close. He has his guard down because he's injured, and then she has her guard down because she's called in Christmas Eve to work, and she has a family gathering. She finds out that her ex-husband got married that morning. And so both of them are going through this weird situation. He's additionally dealing with sobriety, and he had to give up his comedy career due to some issues, interpersonal issues. So they're both sort of at unwieldy places in their life. And basically each of them needs help, and they provide that for each other. He goes with her to the Christmas gathering with her ex-husband and his wife of that morning. He gets his car impounded. She sort of helps him sneak his car out, and it just sort of compounds, and you just see them just really grow more and more charmed with each other. He's very funny, but also like a bit over familiar, something that can make people uncomfortable. She's really no nonsense and a little brassy. And it's just really beautiful to see, how they come together. And it's a Christmas story. I'm bummed it came out now. I feel like it was supposed to come out at Christmas time.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to put it out earlier, like last year, and they just didn't get to it. I don't know. Yeah, it is strange that it's coming out like a few months ahead of time.
Yeah, I put it down. It's at the top of my list of movies to watch with my parents over the holidays, because I think they'll love it as well.
So what would you rate it?
Well, for enjoyment, I gave it a 4. Like I said, loved it, and for quality, a 4. I think the script is super duper good. Acting is all amazing, and I really like the look of it too. It's not polished at all, but it really sort of gives you a feel for the place. Mise en scène? Is that the word? But yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll turn over to you, Sush. What would you rate this movie?
I was pretty close to what you gave it. I gave it a little bit lower on the enjoyment. I gave it a 3.5, mostly just because this isn't like really my type of movie. I guess I like more active movies, like if I'm seeing stuff. But as I mentioned before, I did go into this like not really knowing what the plot was. And I think it was cool also because that also fit in with the plot, because I thought that another, the main thing that led to like how natural it was, or how it felt, was that each of them learn like all these random bits about each other's lives, and like how they tick and everything. So yeah, it was cool. 3.5 for enjoyment, 4 for quality.
Excellent. All right. So our next movie, again, all these movies are so different. The next one is Roses. And so it's a remake of, I don't know, I didn't jot it down, but The War in the Roses, that
War of
80s
the
movie.
Roses, yeah.
And yeah, it's just two people who are married and they hate each other and they got issues breaking up, basically. Yeah, okay. I knew I wouldn't like this. Just in terms of my own personal taste. I knew it just wasn't up my alley. But the actors are so good, so I wanted to check that out. I think overall, my feeling about when you have a movie where both characters are unpleasant and unpleasant things happen, but I just think, well, I don't like unpleasantness. I don't want to see that. I don't think there was any, even though there was, some moments of drama near the end where in the ending is something big happens. Even though there's all that, I didn't really feel like there were super high stakes. I just thought like, I don't know, these jerks are going to get divorced. So what? They should get divorced. They should not be together. This is a great decision for both of them. But what I did enjoy about the movie is they give you time to get to know the relationship. So it doesn't go straight into the breakup. They have sort of like, one of those things where you start in the middle, a scene, and then it does a flashback to see when they first met, how the relationship grew, how they got to that point, and then goes from there. And I found both of the characters incredibly unappealing. So, her character, she's very bossy, but she's also she just ugh. She's very rude. She's not considerate about the people around her. I think she loves her children very much. I think both of them do. That's the one thing where you get to see like redeeming qualities about them. And so, so that's, I actually failed to say who played it. It's Olivia Colman, awesome actress. Her husband, Benedict Cumberbatch, he is doing, you know what? I would almost say he's doing like a Doctor Strange type character, like someone who is really good at his job, but really awful at people. He's
well, I don't know if he was. Yeah, I don't know if that's
early Doctor Strange. He's not a magician.
No, I mean, that's fine that you mentioned that, but really good at his job. I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh, that's true. Okay, he thinks he's really good at his job. Okay. Let me just say that he has an extremely oversized ego. And both of them they have, they joke like that what they have isn't fighting, it's banter. And hey, I'm not British. I know that there's some of that there, but they're really cruel to each other. They do have some humor and some lightness in the beginning, but yeah, I just didn't want to spend time with these people. What do you think, Sush?
I kind of felt the same. Like, I tried to reason a lot of like what was happening,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't make as much sense to me because a lot of what they do is just they kind of identify the problem at any given moment, but then they don't do anything about it.
No.
You know,
These-
and then they're like,
yeah.
why are things getting worse? Kind of thing. So I feel it's like an exercise in insanity.
Yeah.
Because like they're doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different kind of result.
Yeah, and the thing, so, there is, the central sort of thing is that her career skyrockets while his plummets. So he starts taking care of the kids, and she's off taking care of her chefing career. And that's something that, could be interesting to explore, but I just think that it doesn't, I don't understand why it needed to be made. I don't think there's like a particular, like, I don't think it's satire of anything. I guess it's just commenting on how rich people can be jerks, but I just walked away thinking, what's the point? But
Yeah, because I feel like also as actors, they're a little too charming to like play this type of role.
yeah.
So it just feels like disingenuous because it just throws everything out the window. Because as I mentioned before, like there's certain points in the movie where they identify like what the problem is going on in the relationship at any given moment, but then it's like they don't do anything about it. They kind of like laugh at it and they just like are like, haha, whatever, and then continue doing the same thing. And it's like, okay, well, why do I want to watch this? First of all, why do I want to watch this? Because like just on a very simple level of like plot. And then why do I want to watch this if this is like a remake of something that's I think a remake or like a a movie version
Based on a book, right?
on a book. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like why wouldn't I just, explore one of the other previous works?
And it's
I don't
sort of
know.
like the casting's a little weird too, because
Yeah, that's what I feel like. If they got like more, I would say if they leaned more towards like comedy actors.
yeah, or someone who's serious. Like I was picturing like Alan Rickman could do this in a way that I think is very funny.
Or it's
because
like, why did you have Andy Samberg and like who else?
it was Allison Janney was in there, and yeah.
Why'd you have like
Oh, Kate
Andy
McKinnon.
Samberg and Kate McKinnon like play the second couple, like not have them lead this?
Yeah, actually, if they were the leads, it would be more fun. The other two are amazing actors and they're incredibly charming.
That's fine and everything,
it
but
needs
I
to
don't
be
think we need
funnier.
more comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. And the comedy they did do was pretty silly. Kate McKinnon just hitting on
Well,
him.
that's what I mean. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
they're more. I don't know like much about Olivia Colman, but I know that Benedict Cumberbatch usually does serious roles, so
Yeah.
it's just hard for me to see him in a plot, or at least in a movie that's written in a way where I feel like it's supposed to be a comedy, or like at least for me to like get the most out of it, it should be a comedy. Like you should have just had that's Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon be the lead couple.
I will say this, though, full disclosure, we saw this movie because we had a free movie ticket and the theater has truffle parmesan waffle fries. So that aspect of it was awesome. I love those fries. Hell yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, for my rating here, enjoyment, I give it a 1.5. I was floating along the first third or so. Quality, I give it a 2. You can't argue with the actors. I think it looked good. Like Benedict Cumberbatch is an architect, and the architecture was interesting. But yeah, what'd you think, Sue?
Yeah, I was close to you. I gave it a quality rating of 2.
Mm-hmm.
I only gave it a slightly higher enjoyment rating. I personally think that that's only because that I like Benedict Cumberbatch when he's like yelling. Like I didn't realize it until I saw the Spider-Man movie that he was in, and I'm like, for some reason it's really hilarious when he's like yelling at teenagers, or like he's like yelling at Spider-Man. Like,
Sushi,
and I
I
thought
have
that was hilarious for some reason. So I thought it was kind of funny in this movie that he's like yelling at people, and also like he's kind of drill sergeants his kids into
yes.
fitness.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, I just had an idea. You mentioning screaming made me think, ooh, this would be fun with Michael Shannon in
Oh
the
yeah, that
lead.
would've been hilarious.
Like Michael Shannon and like Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah,
People who are both really good dramatic actors and really like sharp, super sharp and exacting for comedy. So,
right.
that's my suggestion for the next remake of this story.
Cool.
All right. So moving on, we got TV. All right. Foundation finale called The Darkness. So let's just go through the plot points. I'm going to try to do them quickly. Let's see if it works. So it starts with Brother Dusk. He's preparing for his ascension, and he visits the clone tanks. And if he looks up, and there's just like so many dang clones, like hundreds of clones. And then he secretly sets something into motion. We'll return to this. Next, we've got Gail. She, in preparation for fighting the mule, she builds a mental fortress by recalling all her loved ones so that when she's fighting with him, he'll be fighting in basically a place where she's comfortable. It's like her battlefield. Then we have Brother Day. He gets back. He presents Demerzel with the robot head, the brazen head, and he's hoping it's going to free her from her programming. Then we jump to Gale, Harry, and their allies. They're on a ship moving towards the mule's base and getting ready for it. And then we sort of cut to where Mule, Dawn, and Beta are. An injured Dawn, basically, they get an opportunity to try to escape. And he tells Beta, just leave him. Go on without him. He can't walk. His legs are too messed up. So off she goes. Meanwhile, Dusk does some more super evil shit, which is he detonates all of the clone tanks, killing all the future Cleons. And there's one left, a little baby Cleon.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to abduct this clone to try to bait Demerzel. Yeah. This guy sucks. Then we've got Gail finally gets to confront the mule. First, she gets to a mule decoy and she kills him. But when she kills the mule eventually, what she realizes is that Beta is the real mule. My beloved Beta. I love that character. And she is so awesome in this moment. She's very, well, I'll get to it later. Okay, so next up, we got Demerzel. She shields the baby clone from Dusk's trap, and he zaps both of them. They both die. Demerzel, hopefully, I looked and not her whole skull gets vaporized, so hopefully they can bring her back somehow.
Yeah.
Brother Day loses his nanite protection, and he's killed by Dusk. Brother Day was like the coolest of all the Cleons so far. Then Day is gone. The clone line is destroyed, so Dusk declares himself the sole ruler And he now wants to be Brother Darkness. So he does this, and he has the Prime Radiant. Then after her confrontation with Beta, Gail is injured, and she manages to escape the Mule's facility, manages to reach her ship with Rasic's help. And the digital version of Harry Seldon returns to the vault after admitting that the real Harry is gone. Then we find out from Ambassador Quent that she delivers the proof of folding to the Imperial Library, where she meets with Preem Palver and the Second Foundation, who are now in possession of the Prime Radiant. And finally, in Demerzel's chambers, it sort of cuts back, and the Brazen Head, which has been, for lack of a better term, charging or something, in that room this whole time, it activates. So its eyes glow, and it begins transmitting signals to unknown robots, hinting at forces still in play. So there is our finale. It was a big one.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Sush?
Everything is awful. Except for that last part. But yeah, everything else was awful in it. I mean, well, Gale, I guess, was able to stop the mule, I guess, for a bit. Who knows what'll happen, though, eventually. I feel like a lot of stuff, went bad. So we kind of have to figure out what's going to come from it, next season. The only thing that's kind of hopeful from all this is, at least that I picked out, is that one, Dawn is still alive.
Yeah.
At least for now. So he may be able to reclaim the throne somehow. I don't know how it works anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
How does that even work? They've killed so many people.
Well, Beta, aka the mule, she must want him alive for some reason. So I'm sure that she has some plan. I'm really curious what she's going to be like, because she sort of presents herself like, oh man, you don't understand. It's not that big a deal. I love everyone. It's going to be great. She tries to sort of soft sell being the mule to them. Like, it's going to be great. Like she says to her partner, like, oh yeah, I have some stuff to tell you about, or something like that. So I am really interested and excited to see her character moving forward, and stupid jerk, the Darkness, aka Dusk. But yeah, it was pretty devastating.
Yeah, but I think like the Brazen Head activating and stuff provides some hope for maybe some help from returning robots.
Yes, that's the hope.
Maybe they will help humanity somehow, because obviously Brother Darkness is a madman now, basically.
Yeah, he's pretty off the charts.
So
crazy.
I think it was a good finale, but it kind of is going to it's set it up in a way where it's like, you're left hanging. So I'm eager to see what's going to happen. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm excited, but it's not like a last season finale, which was kind of, it felt pretty final. And you didn't really, you had like some resolution, but there was other things that, revelations that occurred. But like this time we kind of want to find out what comes from all this devastation.
Yeah. I saw an interview with Lee Pace before the episode came out, and he said it would be a massive game changer. And yeah, absolutely. But I'm really excited to see what comes next. I'm always tempted to read it but then I try to fight back because the show's so good. I don't really want to be spoiled. Cool. So our last TV show here for the week is Alien Earth, episode 6, The Fly. So in this episode, it starts with inside the, science facility with Wendy. She's staying close to Nibs. Nibs, if you'll recall, thought that she was pregnant and had been kind of physically aggressive. So they're doing a bunch of tests on her. Then David Dastmalchian, playing Adam Eanes, shows up to oversee the testing. And he just is like, well, we need her to be better. So just reset her memories. Yeah. So he wants to reset it to before the Maginot crash. So she'll be compliant enough because they've got a presentation coming up at the tower. Arthur, one of the scientists there, refuses. So Eanes fires him and tells him, hey, you got to be off the island by the end of the day or we're going to kill you. So, meanwhile, Boy Cavalier, who's accompanied by Kirsch, goes to meet with Yutani, and Morrow's also there looking on. This is to sort of figure out what to do with the ship and the aliens inside the ship. Yutani insists that Weyland-Yutani deserves the specimens back, and Cavalier argues, hey, well, you're responsible for damaging all of these buildings and people dying. And, the quarantine must run its course. The two decide on like a deal for compensation, but Yutani sort of on the side tells Morrow to recover the specimens through sabotage, of course. Meanwhile, back in the labs, we've got Toodles is heading to take care of some alien flies. He was going to do it with his, his coworker, but his coworker was talking to a girl. I forget who the other dude was, slightly. So he's like, no, you stay. I'll take care of it. And of course, something goes wrong. And these flies are horrible. They spray him with these acid secretions, and it melts his face and incapacitates him. And then they sort of swarm over and try to eat his body.
Synthetic proteins, man.
Synthetic proteins. They're still proteins. Then Wendy, is with Nibs, and she realizes, oh my God, they've erased her memories. So she is upset. She accuses the scientists of treating her and the other hybrids like disposable tools, which they are. Then we've got Arthur, the scientist who was fired, is packing to leave after getting fired. And he meets with Joe, who's sort of, and he discreetly offers him a way and Wendy a way out. He disables Wendy's tracker and then provides access to a boat, giving them a chance to escape the island. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, when Toodles goes missing, Arthur investigates. He decides to go look, see what's happening with Slightly. But under pressure from Morrow in his ear, Slightly turns on him. And he basically sets up Arthur to be attacked by a face hugger and then disposes the body like shoving him in a ventilation system. It's awful. Then in the control room, we see that Kirsch has been watching the whole thing play out on security monitors, and he just chooses to do nothing. And later he's asked by Cavalier if everything's in order, and he just says, yeah, everything's fine. Yeah. So flies this week. What do you think?
Yeah. I really like this because it showcased, I think this episode is one of the ones that showcases what is kind of the best of this series so far. I think it's got very strong creature kind of effects type stuff. Yeah. We got to see pretty much all of the aliens in this one. Mm-hmm. So I like that. It doesn't look like a TV show. It looks like a movie. It looks
so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, is always plus. And then also just how they incite so much tension I think one of my favorite parts with this is what is it? Slightly in trying to set somebody up, trying to set somebody up to get attacked by the face hugger, you know, and you think Joe's going to be the one because he's trying so hard to get Joe, you know, and then just like it just happens to be that like Joe needs to do something else and he just doesn't want to, you know, so he just doesn't even let himself like get bothered by the fact that like Slightly seems to be really upset by the fact that he can't like help him, you know. He's just like, fuck this kid, like I got you know, I gotta worry about my sister. So it just goes to show you like, you know, how much he also that like they're still kids, you know, they don't have like really the effect on that adults have on other adults to like as far as like being able to express that something is really worth somebody's time to like stop and like, you know, deter them from whatever they're planning on doing. But I do think it's like very cool that, or I mean, it's like awesome how they wrote it so just coincidentally that, you know, this chain of events causes Arthur to be the one that ends up being the victim. And I'm trying to think of what other thing I thought was hilarious. That again just makes me feel like for some scientists, like these people are really dumb about like social stuff. Like, how would people not think that kids won't talk to each other and like pick out like other kids acting, you know, out of the ordinary? So
kids
it's like
love noticing what other people are doing that's weird.
Exactly. They're so observant and like, so why would you do something like just erase somebody's memories and like expect that nobody would notice?
Yeah,
like,
that was odd.
That was just a dumb, I mean, I guess like in the realm of like, you know, tools that they have, it made the most sense, but I guess it gets rid of that problem. But in, I mean, like you can't, you know, like at least like let them know what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you have like a crazy enough reason, I don't know. It's like, I think they could have justified it to the kids, you know, because it's like, I feel like that's how kids are. If you explain things to them as an adult, like it would have been 10 times more believable by them than doing something weird behind their back.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just shows how little they consider them human beings, or
I guess
like
that might be it. Yeah,
but also from like an investment standpoint, you don't want them to destroy these you
exactly.
know,
That's
shells
what I was more thinking. Like they just don't care. Like they didn't think about it. Like also they don't think about how this could potentially rock the boat, considering these kids are not just regular ass kids.
Yeah,
like. They have synthetic bodies that are like more powerful, you know, like stronger than like an average human being. So it's like, why would you do? I don't know. They already know that like they're kind of scary sometimes if they're not following protocol or whatever.
Well, it's unusual how few people. Well, I'm sure it's for space. They're in a spaceship, whatever. They can't fit 1,000 people in there. But basically, the people they have observing these like super important hybrids are a robot who doesn't give a shit, played by Timothy Oliphant. He does not care whether they live or die. He is not invested. Then you've got Dame Sylvia, who's overly invested in them, but she also is a complete yes man. She has no ability to stand up for herself, so she sort of portrays herself like she's a guardian to them, but she will not do anything to protect them, as we see this episode. Then you've got, you know, Arthur, who is someone who has morality and ethics, that's something that's important in this kind of a situation.
Yeah, but he has
And
nobody to like support him.
no one to support him.
You know, like, so he understands that the situation cannot be won by one person, especially not this like huge corporate, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a corporation that he'd be going up against. It's like the best they could do is maybe get these kids out of there, but it's
I know. And
I don't know.
Kirsch does not care. Does not
Yeah.
care at all. And then you've got over everything, Boy Cavalier, who I don't think understand. Like, I think he only thinks of himself. So
Yeah,
you see this collection, this like experimental technology, children's brains, and then the worst possible collection of people to oversee it. There's no way this could succeed.
Yeah, you got a bunch of like greedy corporate, you know, multi-billionaires, and then you have like another multi-billionaire who's like just in it for, you know, trying to find the other smartest person in the world. And it's like, so he's just clouded by his judgment. It's just like all about seeking knowledge and everything. Yeah, and then you got these kids like stuck in the middle of this, like robot kids stuck in the middle of the mess.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you've got Morrow, who is a whole other crazy situation.
He's got his own problems.
I think that's the cool thing I walk away from this episode and just this season is we're there for the aliens. They show us the aliens. The alien stuff is amazing. But they've set up some really amazing, interesting, juicy interpersonal relationships and dynamics that are just going to naturally lead to a lot of drama. So,
which is kind of hilarious because it's like, God forbid the alien just murder them all and like they don't have to deal with any other horrible issues.
Well, we don't know about hybrids really in the other movies, so maybe that happens. We'll see.
I know, right?
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, I look forward to seeing more of it. I mean, this is just, regardless, like this show has looked beautiful since the first episode. The acting's great. It's just a very unsettling show in the best way possible. And yeah, I'm just loving it. So just looking forward to more of it.
Yay! And speaking of looking forward, hey, do you like my transition there?
I like that. That's
awesome.
Cool.
So we're going to look ahead to what we'll be watching this week. So the movies that we're hoping to see this week to review next week are Him, Afterburn, which is like the new Dave Bautista movie, action-y movie. Then possibly a Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. And there's this movie Xeno we're thinking of checking out. As far as TV, well, Foundation's over. So the only thing we have planned for that's solid is Alien Earth. But let us know. I mean, if there's other shows we should cover. We're considering the Daryl Dixon show or maybe the Terminal List, Dark Wolf, the spinoff with John Carter from Mars.
Yeah,
Taylor
pretty much
Kitsch.
like any other currently ongoing series.
Yeah.
I don't know if the problem is there's so many streaming services now.
There really are.
I don't know what to watch
catch
except
up
for
on
the ones that I have.
But yeah, so there's a lot there. But yeah, and that concludes our initial segment. Sushi, what do we have going on over in wrestling?
All right, it's time for Oh No. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what's going on. So this week we had SmackDown and Raw as usual. No PLEs or anything like that. So nothing too crazy to report, but you know, we are going into a PLE weekend coming up. So these last two shows have been kind of stacked. So I'm just going to get right into it. Feel free to stop me at any time to make commentary. First, I'm going to start with the SmackDown from the 12th of September in Norfolk, Virginia. Before I get into it about this episode, I just want to say overall, it seemed like this episode was an ad for AAA Worlds Collide, which was following SmackDown that night, so makes sense. And also for WrestlePalooza.
Yeah.
That's coming up this coming Saturday. But yeah, besides that, Brock Lesnar kicked off the show talking about John Cena, and then he gets interrupted by R-Truth. It was kind of funny, I guess. I mean, there's some background to this, which is basically just that R-Truth has been one of the only wrestlers to ever have Brock break character. So, I don't know. I guess maybe WWE thought this could be worth doing to squash any remaining controversy over the Brock return.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand the point behind it because it wasn't especially funny.
No.
But I mean, Brock split his jeans, so that was kind of
my
funny.
God. It was so great, guys. He split his jeans and then he was sort of dancing around, showing off his butt.
Yeah. That was funny.
And he had really bright blue underwear on. And at the end, he was laughing and was like, blue underwear. So
yeah, that was funny. It's kind of a good sport. So.
Yeah, that was the highlight of this segment.
All right. So next thing is I have no idea what they're trying to do with Solo Sikoa. Because there's a video from him, I think, leading into a commercial or something. It seems super serious. But I think you and I both kind of enjoy him better as a funny heel. So
yes,
this really didn't do it for me because it was just what? You're just trying to, you made a commercial to tell us how upset you are that you're not winning anymore and that you're upset. Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of videos, we get one from the Wyatt Six where Uncle Howdy is again talking with his mask off. This
sweet.
time, Eric Rowan joins him in the talking. So,
look at that.
Maybe
They're verbal now.
What?
I said they're verbal now. It's good.
Yeah, no, maybe they're listening to the people like us who are saying that they need more, time on the mic for buy-in to be better. I mean, I don't mind them. I just, I want more of a reason other than they're creepy and intimidating.
I don't really know about them that much.
Yeah,
because they don't talk.
Give me
very
some
often.
background, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I just had in my notes that Nick Aldis is the most patient GM ever, dealing with demands from both Chelsea Green and The Miz without breaking a sweat.
Mm-hmm.
The other part about this is I get how The Miz is supposed to be super annoying. And he's been super irritating trying to control Carmelo Hayes' career. Because he just keeps, basically every time, Carmelo tries to, complain about something, he's like, hey, you shouldn't focus on that.
Look over here.
Okay, come on. This is stupid. But at the same time, it's okay, this is exactly his character, so it makes sense. But, yeah. He thinks Carmelo should focus on the tag team titles, but Carmelo wants to challenge Sami Zayn for the U.S. Championship since Sami's doing the open challenge thing. Mm-hmm. So with that said, we had the first open challenge for the U.S. Championship, which was Rey Fenix, and it was a solid straight up wrestling match, man. Mm-hmm. I think it was a nice break considering most things that have been happening on the shows lately. Leading up to this PLE have been maintenance matches for storyline progression and upcoming matches. I don't feel like there's any, anything that wouldn't be expected to just build on stuff that's, happening. But anyway, the next match that we have is Julia versus B-Fab. This match doesn't even take place because they get into it before the bell is rung. So it's basically just a setup for Michin to come out and help out B-Fab while also getting payback for last week. I have no idea where this is going.
Yeah, I don't either. I like all of them. I don't know the lady who looks like a stripper business lady. I don't know her, but I like the other two a lot. And so I'm,
Yeah, I'll talk about this more after I talk about Raw. I just have some stuff to talk about as far as what the programming has been for the women's division has been lately. I don't know how I feel. I don't know. I have some feelings about it. Anyway, next one was a WWE Women's Championship match between Tiffany Stratton, the current champion, and Jade Cargill. WWE just really wants to prove to everybody that they can really make a superstar out of Jade Cargill, to prove to her and AEW that making this jump was worth it. For those of you who don't know, she did leave AEW because she thought she needed to go to WWE because she was getting older and she thought she had limited time to kind of make it to like the peak of her career.
Oof.
So
I feel that I could see
so they
that
really
for an
feel like they need
athlete,
to make something out of this, and she needs to see it, but we'll see where this goes. I mean, it's like, to me, it doesn't feel any different than, maybe a little bit different than she was in AEW, but I don't know. I feel like it's the same character-ish, nothing too much different, except that she might be a little bit better at doing like storyline type stuff now, I guess.
I thought it was her best match. I really liked the match.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, ref calls a draw after Jade spears Tiffy through a barricade. Then Nia Jax comes out of nowhere to attack each of them. Like, I don't know, WWE wants to remind us that Nia Jax still exists. I can't remember the last time she was in an actual match, so who knows? But I think these matches between Jade and Tiffy, have gotten progressively better. So I feel like they're definitely planning a title run for Jade. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just been kind of dragging, but we'll see. I just feel like this is part of the issue that happens when you're trying to like elevate somebody immediately to the top title, like when they come into their company. They were talking about how it's been under 12 months. Like, since she's come to WWE, so yeah, it's been pretty quick. We also get Randy. I forgot to mention that Tiffany Stratton retains because of the disqualification.
Yes,
the draw or whatever. Anyway, moving on. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Drew won this match. This was basically just, I guess, due to like them having some words the previous week. So yeah, basically this match was, it wasn't bad, but it was just mainly a setup for Cody Rhodes to return.
Yeah, American Nightmare.
Yeah, we got basically at the end of it, Drew McIntyre won, and he looked to finish off Orton by kicking him into the announce table like he did with Cody. But then Cody runs in to save Orton, and then just gets on the mic and declares that he see McIntyre at WrestlePalooza.
Palooza. Fade to black. Yes. And then we open in Springfield, Mass, home of my good friend Jackie.
Well, yeah. So we kick off backstage, first of all. Immediately. Continuing the drama between Jey Uso and LA Knight, with Big Jimmy Uso stuck in the middle. Mm-hmm. So Adam Pearce is really frustrated. And like, there's this whole line that Adam Pearce mentions about like, it's like, you guys are going to have to talk to your bankers when you're short a paycheck. And I'm like, who the hell has bankers? Like, what kind of old people stuff is this? Like,
or rich people stuff.
No, but it's like he's also talking about like a paycheck, like it's a physical thing.
Yeah.
It's not like nobody has direct deposit or something. I just thought this hilarious. Adam Pearce is hilarious. I love him. He's from this area, just so everybody knows. I think he's from like Waukegan or someplace.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Waukegan,
Don't they have a water park there or something?
I think you're thinking about Gurney.
Okay. Regional content.
But I do remember, like, I think the last episode that was in Milwaukee, this Adam Pearce like said he used to hang out there, which makes sense because like if you lived up by the border, you'd probably go hang out in Milwaukee too. Anyway, John Cena made the first entrance into the ring to a huge pop. Makes
Yeah.
sense because it's where he went to college and played football at Springfield College, and he gave them credit, did a speech giving him credit for preparing him for WWE, greeted his friends and family in the crowd, and addressed the history of feuds with him and Brock Lesnar. Basically, just holds a pep rally for his upcoming match against him at WrestlePalooza.
The audience was great. Oh, we have to call out, he pointed out a sign that he saw in the audience, and it said, Cena's jorts are greater than Brock's busted shorts.
Yeah, but Brock's jeans. That's
Brock's
what it was.
jeans. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. At one point, we returned backstage to LA Knight and Jey Uso continuing to bicker.
Oh my God.
Adam Pearce like jumps in and finally is just like, what the hell is it going to take to get you guys to stop? LA Knight says a tag team match with Jimmy as his partner, but Jay objects, so they just continue arguing. There's some back and forth like later on. There's like throughout the night you see some other like backstage segments. So at one point, basically, Jay pisses Jimmy off because he's like giving him orders to not help LA Knight. Instead, this ends up like pushing him to like offer to be LA Knight's tag partner in his match against the Bronze later that night. Let's see what else happened. Adam Pearce had a cute contract signing between Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky for their upcoming match at WrestlePalooza. And it has to get interrupted by Asuka screaming Japanese with Kairi Sane in tow. Asuka basically just voluntells Kairi that she has a match against Stephanie that night. Vaquer doesn't turn it down, so Adam Pearce just like okays it. We get a cute preview of the mixed tag match between Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. Seth tries to run the same line that CM Punk did, saying that he has somebody to take care of AJ Lee, but then Becky Lynch walks out on him, arguing that she didn't ask for this. It ends up being a setup, though, to separate Punk from AJ so Becky can sneak attack AJ. Punk tends to AJ as Seth and Becky make out in front of the whole crowd, in front of the WWE universe to celebrate the hijinks.
I loved this. It was so silly.
It was an entertaining Raw. It really was.
Yeah.
Like,
It was a good one.
I don't know of all the matches I felt that way, but definitely like a lot of the promo drama type stuff, backstage moments were high quality this week. So let's get into the matches. We had Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez with Raquel Rodriguez. Yo, Bird Lady sold this match. Holy shit. I know we clown her character and her entrance a lot, but she is talented. So it's nice to have her back. I mean, good win for her. But the moment was short-lived because Raquel Rodriguez comes in with a sneak attack, leading to her and Roxanne ganging up and beating down on Lyra. So then Bayley runs out to assist, and Lyra's like super confused. It's hilarious because, crazy Bayley. And later on, they need to really drive it home. So, you got a backstage segment where Lyra's like walking in on like a crazy moment for crazy Bayley, where she's talking to herself, arguing with herself backstage. Like, man, this story arc has been really weak. Like, I just, I can't do it. I'm not buying into this at all. I have no buy-in. Zero buy-in whatsoever.
Yeah, and it just feels weird to have... She playing a crazy lady. It just seems like kind of dated, Like...
She's not even good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not convincing. She's just
Yeah.
doing like a guy playing a guy.
I mean, I don't think they're giving her much to work
a
with.
lady playing a crazy lady.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I'm starting to get confused. So here's where I was saying earlier, like I don't really know what the direction is for the women's division. Like if they have one, I don't understand it because lately I feel like the most entertaining matches and like the storylines are with the people who are not holding titles.
Oh, that's
You know what I
true.
mean? Like I feel
Yeah.
like the most interesting, let me just like think off the top of my head. Chelsea Green, she
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have a title right now. She's damn entertaining.
Oh, love her.
Like Charlotte Flair at this moment in her tag team,
Mm-hmm.
you know, entertaining, even though they're not holding the titles. Um, yeah, so
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe they're just putting the focus on the wrong talent at the moment. I
It's
don't know.
almost like they think they don't have to give the women strong stories like they do. Not that they always give strong stories to the men, but like for the men, they always have some like overarching thing that's happening and then everything else sort of goes around it,
Yeah.
like the Vision versus whoever or,
Hmm.
but with the women's, it's just like, hey, we got these ladies. Let's make them wrestle. Oh, I guess they have been fighting lately. Like it's not built up like they do for the men's division.
Yeah, they don't have like intricate story, like as intricate of storylines. It's just like, oh, you're a backstabber, and now you're not my friend,
And they have really good
or you're
performers.
you're you're crazy, and that's it.
Like I think Chelsea should be up there. I think she should be like
Yeah.
heavily featured because she's so
Yeah, I
funny.
think they were doing good with her for a while, and I don't know what happened. They just,
Yeah. And
I don't know.
they don't right now have like a story of betrayal or a long-standing feud that feels like super impactful.
Well, I think it's mostly because Naomi left. Like they had that
Yeah.
storyline, and it had happened. I don't know if the payoff was really there. Like even if I think they were still trying to pay it off before she went on, maternity leave. So, I have a
Yeah.
feeling that I don't know if they're going to get back into it, but I think it'll be too far gone by the time she returns to continue with that storyline. So yeah, they gotta. I don't know.
It
This
feels
daily
much
crazy
more
storyline is not doing it for me. That's
no.
all I know. I'm trying to think if there's like other stuff. Like I like it's like what are they doing with Julia? Like
Mhm.
she's good, but why do
It
I care? Like I don't really care if she's gonna have the same matches or like if they're gonna keep running these types of like same scenarios. I feel like the problem is they just repeat like alternating scenarios every week for the women
mhm.
now. Like that's their way of kind of like hovering while they're trying to decide what to do next.
Yeah, they
It's
probably
like
the Naomi
let's go
thing
back and
threw them
forth with
for
these, like because it's like the Julia thing. It's like, well, let's have Michin like in her like just start brawling and not really have a match, like one time, and then let's do it with BFAB, and then it's like, so what? Why do you need to remind us? If you don't want to use them, don't use them. Like, stop wasting my time.
They're also making a lot of non-wrestling ladies wrestle, like sort of. And I feel
I
like just
I don't know.
give that
Like, that's
time to
why I
the real
say I don't know
athletes.
what the hell they're trying to do because
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily seem like all of their ideas are bad, but it seems like they
Mhm.
don't really let anything breathe anymore.
Mm.
They don't want to give it time, like, or they're like, they accidentally give the wrong thing too much time. I don't know.
Yeah. I would love to see some plot lines that are just like really crazy, like they do in the men's league.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to go on a tangent, but let's
Oh, I
continue with
love a
these matches.
tangent.
Penta versus Kofi Kingston. with Grayson
Yay.
Waller and Xavier Woods. All right. Given the whole comedy bit with the petition to outlaw the Mexican Destroyer, this is obviously just a setup for Penta to win another match using the Mexican Destroyer. Sure enough, we get a 6 springboard Mexican Destroyer to end his match.
It was so good.
It was great. Side note, Xavier Woods' outfits need to be collected into an album and discussed.
Yes.
I'm guessing there's some chatter on social media about them because they're getting more and more ridiculous. It's almost like somebody is egging him on to like do more and more ridiculous stuff, because it's like every week there's like more and more embellishments on like the outfit somehow. I don't know what's going on. I'm loving it. I wasn't enjoying heel New Day for a while, but this whole thing with the Mexican Destroyer petition is killing me on weekly basis.
They got to let these guys be funny. They're funny. Let them be funny.
Exactly.
Whatever this plot line is, they're going to be a heel, be a funny heel, you know?
Yeah. So later on, actually, there's even a backstage moment following this where the New Day attack Penta with a chair, and the War Raiders run in to help. I feel like this is just setting up another 3 versus 3 tag match. So we'll see what happens. We got...
Oh, good.
What were you going to say?
I just found out Xavier Woods has a PhD in educational psychology.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's all. It blew my friggin' mind. I had to speak. All right, carry on.
Right, that's cool. Let's go on to Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano. This was an awesome match, man. This is both delivered.
Yeah.
There's a crazy leap from Dragon Lee nailing Grande Americano on top of the announce table. Dos Americano appears to sus El Grande, but AJ Styles comes out to help. But then a third Americano appears. How many of these dudes are there?
So many. So many.
There's a backstage moment later on where Finn Balor again confronts Dominic Mysterio about Grande Americano situation. Feels like they're either setting up for a match between Finn and Dom or something. Also, Rusev confronts Dom and says he's the next Intercontinental Champion. Like, Dom is involved in way too many plot threads right now.
Yes.
Next match was Stephanie Vaquer versus Kairi Sane with Asuka. It's not a bad match at all. Definitely felt like a maintenance match, though, with Asuka further driving a rift between Io and the rest of the women's division and reinforcing the upcoming Women's World Championship match between Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky at WrestlePalooza. And then last match of the night, we had LA Knight and Jimmy Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, a.k.a. The Bronze.
The Bronze.
Another fairly solid match, but felt overshadowed by the storyline, like the overall storyline. You know, the Bronze attack and gang up on Jimmy and Ring at the end of the match. You know, Jay runs out with a chair to help. LA Knight picks the chair up when he returns to the ring, and Jay and him have a tense moment, you know, but then they shake hands and they seem to like squash their beef. Wrong! Jay gets a BFT for being an ass last week. Pretty sure they're going to drag on this conflict for like several more weeks before they do something with it. I don't know what they're going to do. Like,
as long as LA Knight is on screen, I'm happy. They can do it.
Yeah, he's been solid, like especially the last few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's been hilarious. So that does it for wrestling. We got a busy upcoming weekend with both WWE WrestlePalooza and AEW All Out, both taking place on Saturday, September 20th.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try to catch WrestlePalooza. I don't even know where I can catch All Out, like, nearby, but...
We'll be searching.
We'll have to see.
Yes. So Yeah, I guess that concludes our episode. This was
Yeah.
we saw so many different types of media this week, like
Oh yeah.
really different vibes with everything. So it was a good week.
There's a lot going on.
And just want to thank everyone for listening. We'd love to hear like what you think. If you have any suggestions on what we should be checking out, and if you would like to, we would love it if you could subscribe, rate, and review. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, and take it easy.
Yeah, friendships touch. Movies and delights, we'll share so much.
Let's enjoy this side.